Welcome back, everybody. It's the Monday Not So Live show. It's July 27th in the year of our Lord, someone's Lord, 2026. I'm here. Cheryl is here, back from vacation. Dave is driving between Boston and wherever he lives in Canada. So filling in again is the mayor of DEKA Town, Kevin Bubbles Gregory. Kevin's here because there was a big DEKA event in Boston this weekend. But I want to start with my DEKA Strong. Sorry, Mile.
How do you like the shirts, Matt? There was
running
involved.
We're going to get to the shirts. We're going to get to the medals. We're going to get to everything. So DEKA Mile teams with my boy Clayton. I have driven him to a couple of Strongs. We've done a couple miles together. We did an Atlas that I DNF'd, but we've never actually done teams. And one of the reasons is they usually do the teams in the morning, and these guys are like an hour from me. And so I'm like, I don't want to get up early. Let's go to an 11 o'clock race, right? So I thought, oh, we'll sign up for doubles. And then if I'm feeling frisky, I'll do a solo after. So my first, I'm gonna cut right to the headline. And the headline is, much like I don't like HYROX solo, and I'll probably never do a HYROX solo again, I might not do a DEKA solo again. I had so much fun with my boy Clayton. Boy, is it relaxing on the body. Boy, is it you just get those few seconds, or in some cases, a lot of seconds after sprinting back from that run. I see what the fuss is all about, Kevin and your whole crazy underguard crew. That was a lot of fun. I really, I did one with Dustin, and that was good, but I wasn't as fit, and I was I kind of felt like I was letting Dustin down, and, even though he was cool with it, but this was a true, just hey, me and you, bro, let's do it. And I learned a ton that we can improve on. And we did really well making it up on the fly. You shouldn't do it that way, right? You shouldn't just go, we'll figure it out, because it fucks you up, right? But I think because DEKA's so fast, it almost doesn't matter. It's the reason I like the 500 so much with the Trika. So I was like, you guys will appreciate this. My first thought is, well, he's the faster one, right, of us. So I'm going to send him out first. And so we're about to start, and they're like, okay, you both do the first and last stations together. I'm like, fuck, that's right. Okay, so we're going to do this together, and then you're going to start, right? You're going to start. You're going to do 10. I'm going to do 10. You're going to 10, and then I'm going to take off, right? And so then we kind of did that the rest of the way. And the only time where it didn't, it might have been somewhat confusing, or the only time I gave him more work was the bike. I did, I think, 9 calories, and Clayton's much more built like Kevin than he is like me. He's got a massive lower trunk. So he cranked those last, he didn't do it full bubble style, but just his regular body doing it was oh my, you're going to stay on it till 25. Cause I thought maybe he'd stop at 18 or something, but just went through it. But I really, really enjoyed it. And I would like to, and then you really appreciate this, I think, Cheryl. I felt great. We went and had a couple slices of pizza next door, and I was like, do I want to do a singles? And I'm like, well, I feel great right now. If I do a singles, I won't feel great anymore. Why don't I not do singles? So I just went home. You know what I mean? I can go home feeling beat to shit and broken. I always, oh, fuck, what did I do? Oh, I overworked myself again. So yeah. I left on a high note, and I'm so happy I did.
And you're happy.
What questions do you have for me? Either one of you.
What was your favorite station, Matt?
My favorite station?
So it might be a little different in singles or doubles.
I mean, my favorite station. I don't know that I had one. Favorite station? Are you allowed to have favorites?
I mean, everyone asks me that all the time.
Well, I guess it's funny because I'll put it to you this way. In singles, to me, I hate the burpees. I hate the dead ball overs. I hate the bike, right? I didn't hate any of them. And I quite enjoyed all of them, I would say. Because they're going so quick, and because when you're done, your friend's going to take off. You're not going to take off. And HYROX should absolutely do a version like this. HYROX should absolutely do relays. Either with make the relays more like this, right?
Yeah. Well, doubles could be like this if they didn't make you run together.
That's what I'm saying. And they're missing the part about what works. That's what the part that works is the less running, right?
Yes.
The less running for the people who's scared of all the mileage, and I can sprint because I only have to do this much, even if it was 1K, right?
Right.
Even if you didn't trade between laps, just the fact that I don't have to run every lap. It's so funny. What's your favorite station? I mean, the builder because I'm sitting down.
Listen, it's him, Matt. Like,
no, it's funny because I've asked people that question before. Like I've asked people that in HYROX. What did you hate the most? What did you like the most? Like, especially early on, it was like, oh, what do you like about this? Because it's kind of what we're used to asking for obstacle racing. Like, what was your favorite obstacle? But it's whatever the opposite of hate the least is, because I didn't hate any of them. And like I said, I fucking hate the bike and I hate the dread ball loops. I'm like, oh my God, it sucks. There's so many of these. And I didn't feel that way. It's like, I'm going to bang out 6 of these fuckers. Now you're going to go.
I'm coaching a guy. Yeah, I'm coaching a guy who's going to do his first mile in a month or two, September 5th. He's going to do his first mile. And he said, I really have to pick up a 60-pound ball. Like he's having a hard time even wrapping a head. I have to do 20 of those. I said, yes, you do. And you're going to be fine. But it's a slog when you don't have help. Yeah.
And the runs, I felt fast, right? I felt like I was like when Dustin and I did it, like I said, I was less fit. It was super fucking hot out there. And here I was like, because also the one that I did at Marcus's gym, and I'm not dissing Marcus's gym. This is just how it was laid out. It was basically like a long, you never really got your rhythm because it was a lot of
in and out,
mazes
and turns and kind of things.
Yeah. So you didn't, and this one is just like nice one big curve. And shout out Kevin and Mandy Laura, who put on these events. They own a couple gyms. They qualify as doubles in, I forget which category, but they're really strong. They're really great. They always do a good job. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. I will definitely do. I guess I would try strong teams with him. I want to do that actually with Stacy because I think Stacy would like it. But
no running.
No running, but I think I would definitely. Well, and right before we started, they were like, all right, you guys, like sub 20. And I was like, well, I'm not going to go sub 20. Like Destin and I didn't. So I'm like, Kevin, we're not that fast. So we were 22 change, 23, whatever it was. And it's like, we can take a minute off this. First mistake, again, not familiarizing myself. Kevin taught us, his videos, like, where are we going to familiarize ourselves with the stations? In the warm-up area. So there isn't a warm-up area per se, but there is a little fitness area next to it. But it's been so long. The first thing I did on the Rams was I shouldered it like I do a sandbag for HYROX, even though I just did Trika, where I know how much easier it is on the side. And I was in the middle of these 10 and I'm thinking, I think I can switch this. I'm not sure I should. So, and then it was over. Then it was over. And then another thing. Oh, I hadn't touched a Zebex in so long. I was pushing it like this instead of like a HYROX sled. I was pushing it with my arms. And Joy, my buddy Joy, who I put on the stories, who's like at every local event that I go to. She's at all the DEKA ones. She also does my run the ATL. She yelled, "What are you doing?" But I didn't know what she meant because I was just tired. And so I didn't change it. And then somewhere in the middle of the second one, I was like, oh yeah, I've got to push it. So then I started pushing it like this, like we used to push the sleds. I still didn't do it right. So at the end, it was like, oh yeah, like get down in it. Like put your head between the stupid thing. So I'm like, be more specific next time, Joy. Yell, lean down or something. Not what are you doing? Because that didn't compute anymore.
Proper cueing is very important.
What's that?
Proper cueing is definitely important.
I'm
whether you're a judge or a coach, you want to say the words that makes the person do what you want them to do.
Yeah. So I'm really big on that. Really big on that. Anyhow, I loved it. So then it's over. I get this great shirt. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, are you and Clayton are going to do DEKA Fit when it comes?
Well, Clayton and I'm committed to my buddy. Oh my God, why does this happen to me all the time?
Too many friends.
The fellow that gets you in the age group that could get you guys qualified.
Yes, we're already signed up because he's 71.
Run twice.
So I'm doing that with him. So Clayton, I think, is going to do a solo. I guess depending on the days, if it's a 3-day weekend, I guess I could maybe jump in a solo.
Yeah, or you could do. Well, no, I guess you couldn't do teams twice because it's only going to be on one day. So
you could. We just proved it.
That is true. Some of these
we're gonna get to that.
Okay. Anyway, I think DEKA teams is easily the funnest race I do. And so I'm glad you can see the light, Matt, because it's really fun.
Well, again, I think I'm probably not going to travel to a lot of DEKAs, but I do, but I will do more gym events. I mean, they only put on 2 or 3 a year, but
yeah. Good. So you got a shirt and a medal.
Hang on for me 1 second.
Good thing Cheryl's here to keep us on task.
just the cruise director.
Well, it's killing me that I can't think of my friend's name, and I'm really embarrassed because
it'll come to you.
I'm really embarrassed. Tommy, Jesus Christ, Tommy Davidson. Came to me.
OCR legend, that they say in the UK.
The whole time I'm like, he's got a black guy's name. He's got a black guy's name. And so I was like, what is it? I was like, Chris Rock, Tommy Davidson. Tommy, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I'm really sorry. He is my friend. And listen, I can't think of Clayton's name sometime. I'm about to send a text and I'm like, I see Clayton's face and I can't actually send it. So the race is over. I get the shirt. I like it. It's cool. I hadn't seen this color before. Then I get the medal. And the medal is everything wrong with DEKA. Now that I've just okay, because I'm handed this thing and it's a big fucking Spartan medal with a big Spartan hex in the middle, right?
Okay.
With a weird Spartan shield, right? So I'm a regular person, right? I'm a regular person that found this fitness race, and I'm like, Spartan, like that, the obstacle race? Like, I guess they put this on, I guess. Because my medal also has Spartan on it. And then the worst culprit is this. Can you read this? Can you read this medal?
I can't. Can you, Kevin?
If you keep moving it, I can grab one out of the desk. The code is for everyone. This code is for everyone. Is that a registration link?
This code is for everyone. Is there a QR link?
This code is
not for everyone.
Oh,
so where do you think this? So where do you think this QR code goes?
I've given out hundreds of those, and I never noticed there's a code on them.
Well, based on what I've said, I'll give you 3 guesses where the QR code goes.
To the Spartan website.
To the Spartan website.
So there's nothing that denotes it's a DEKA.
Well,
event.
you will eventually find DEKA races eventually on the Spartan website, but it's the Spartan fucking website. Do you see? Because I checked. I thought maybe it goes straight to the DEKA page. Nope. So this mess of Spartan marketing, which is my biggest beef with them, is that they think because they own 3 races that the idea is they're all the same and you treat all the clients the same, and the clients are very different. And not only that, but some are almost the antithesis, right? So
yes.
Someone that loves a competitive Spartan might never do a Tough Mudder because it's not timed and not challenged. Somebody that loves a funsy Tough Mudder, might hate Spartan and or DEKA and not know what these are. And why did it take me to the Spartan website? I didn't even know you know what I'm saying? So the idea of Spartan being a tiny icon below DEKA, which is where it should be, right? Or not at all, because you need to. They are like, nope, this is all Spartan, because if you're a Spartan, you do these things. And that's the Joe DeSena lens, is that you must be a Spartan to do any of this stuff. Because if you're a Spartan, you're tough. And I should say that because now we own Tough Mudder, but you tough Spartans can also do mudders and DEKAs. See what I'm saying?
Is that why they're doing it, or are they just saving money?
No, no.
Just getting bulk the same medal for every event that they put on.
Well, it's a different medal. It does in fact say DEKA 2026, but
it does. Okay.
But I'm saying it's a
massive. No, the ribbon does, but the actual medal is the medal. Does it say DEKA on it? Because I'll tell you what, like I have this display back here of all my DEKA medals. I loved them all the years through. Spartan always does a great job with their medals. I was talking to Ian K about it.
It says DEKA right there.
Okay. It says DEKA right there. All right.
This weird piece is definitely a Spartan piece. And yes, there is a way to say, if you like these various tough, hard things, and let's monetize that and let's gamify that and make some cool like that is a thing. Like Disney does that, right? Like these 12 races on a weekend or whatever. But Spartan is kind of the opposite, and bad messaging, and again, confusing messaging to a potential customer who again might hate obstacle racing, or certainly like is confused at minimum to where they can find more fitness racing events. Like I thought this was more like Why am I seeing all this obstacle racing shit? So anyway, that hurt my heart after feeling so good. And the community, you know what I mean? Like everybody cheering on each other. And like we before.
Oh, we're losing you, Matt.
Atlanta. I got to judge once. I loved it. I was like, hey, by the way, I'm going to be here today. I'm not leaving. I got nothing going on. Wife's out of town. Like, if you need a judge. And they're like, and then at one point they did. They threw me in there. And here's what's great. Every station has the, this is the other reason why it's such a great event. They put up a sign at every station with the number of reps. And then when you get to the station, for the example, for the Ram, there's 2 Rams, a heavier one and a lighter one. When you get to the dumbbells, there's 2 sets, right? So like, even I can't screw it up. You know what I mean? Like there's not 4 sets, right? It's just 2 sets. So easy to, relatively easy to judge, easy to score, right? So all of that's great. And you can see why it has been a hit and why affiliates do them and gives their people a chance to, there wasn't 100 people there, which is like a massive event. It was like 40 or 50, which is what there is every time over the course of many, many, many hours. So it's never that crowded. It's a great event. And I just wish Spartan could get out of there.
This new guy that is coming to do this race, and I've been helping him get ready. I do think a lot about that. Like I worry that he's going to show up and there are going to be things that are disappointing. And then I'm going to be embarrassed that I talked him into it, like you want it to be a really good experience. And I want him to have his effort feel like it's really paid off. And, you just hate to have anything kind of fall through the cracks. I'm hoping that he gets a shirt. I'm hoping that the medals show up because in the past they haven't. Because I do think this is going to be a great entry race for him to be able to learn about this. He's done Spartans for years and is really intrigued by the fitness racing. So and many of us there do come from Spartan, but the goal is to not limit ourselves. So now that we've spent time on that, I definitely want to talk to Kevin, who was in Boston this weekend, and we have some notes from the field. We have some people we've heard from, good and bad. So I want to hear yours first, Kevin. How would you compare it to how the rest of the season has gone so far? And I want to know how many races you raced this time.
Should I tell you now or should I wait?
I want to hear it now, just so we get context.
Right. Context, in Chicago, I raced 7 times. And on Saturday when I went home in Boston, I was at 7 and still with 1 day to go. So I ended up with 10. They don't have a special medal for that like Disney, but
a DEKA.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. The DEKA to the DEKA power. So yeah, I participated in almost all the different categories, divisions, all the ways to slice it up. And Matt, you asked about experience. We had some breaking news on Wednesday, Thursday with New York going down, and that's not happening. And then certain people that care about prize money, especially when there's a purse promise for a race that gets canceled, where's that money going to go? So that question's lingering. And then later that night,
can I guess?
I don't know the answer to that, but I did, obviously Boston is where Spartan's headquarters is. So there was a lot of poking like, hey, these people that are visiting from corporate, like, can you find out where this money's going? It would be good to know, since Philly, Fort Lauderdale, and Raleigh still have time to get people too. And if there's prize money there, you're going to draw a little bit bigger crowd. And a lot of people didn't sign up for New York despite the prize money because there was no venue. So I don't know where it's going to be, but one race director is hopeful. He got unofficial. He feels like the money's going to, he was told the money's going to be reallocated.
Guess a percentage, Cheryl. We'll all play this game. Guess a percentage that money gets allocated somewhere versus nowhere. Those are our choices. Like one of the 4 cities before World Champs or nowhere. What percentage?
I think there is a 0% chance that they go to the trouble to reallocate it. I think it's a bureaucratic issue.
0.
You're
less hopeful. I was going to say 12. You're 0.
No, because I think, look, it could be a financial issue, but I actually think that they just don't have the infrastructure bureaucratically to actually think that far ahead and get it done. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe after this conversation, somebody will get on it, but it just seems like a bureaucratic issue for me.
Okay, so I say 12%. Cheryl says 0%. Kevin Gregory, what is your percentage?
I'm just an endless optimist, but I also I'm not even over 50% because of all the other stuff that just those two things alone. We didn't even talk about tickets to Boston, and if you happen to be at Fenway, it's just like how can we find a new way to say, oh, you love DEKA, you registered 6 months in advance, F you. Like, how are we going to screw this up next? So my first thought was, okay, New York's down. No one that was in the New York market that's done these races for a long time had any confidence of it happening. I'm like, oh, they tell you the same thing. It's like, I don't know. I'm not in like conflict resolution and marriage counseling, but it seems like battered wife syndrome. You keep coming back because they keep telling you it's going to be different next time. And you come back hopeful, and then they just find a new way to hurt your feelings or beat you.
You don't know him like I do. You don't know him. When everyone's gone, he talks to me different.
That's how I feel. But my first thing, was, hey, you guys, everyone knows you owe athletes money. It's really good that you paid out in Anaheim, and it's really good that you paid out in Chicago. It's really not good that you haven't paid out from 2025 yet. But 2024 came out, so that's a good step in the right direction. But now, if you pull this money back that you promised three purses to, that's not going to be good for DEKA, and you want to grow it. I assume it's a business that builds, revenue based on people showing up, and not to mention the negative conversations about
what's my favorite relationship? What's my favorite relationship analogy? The trust bank. They put a couple deposits in the trust bank. They said they were going to give out in Anaheim. They did. They said they were going to give out in, what was the other one?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
They did. Holy shit. Some trust is coming back. And then we took that trust back.
Having the conversations with the on-site people. No one's ever said Yancey's an asshole because DEKA is screwing people this way, that way, this. Like, everyone applauds him for falling on the sword when he takes ownership over things that is not his fault, right? And then this year, you've heard more of the leadership role that Yancey had kind of been sent overseas, and he just is like the face. He's not even in charge of judging or whatever. So the other people that are running the show, the race director, the staff, the people on site, they understand they have these frustrations as well, and they put it up the pipeline. I'm like, I don't want to keep complaining to you. Like, I hate emailing the same people at at Spartan HQ that I have to go through to resolve things. I'm like, I know it's not your fault, Cheryl. Every Monday, hey, Cheryl, where's my XYZ? Where's my money? Where's my shirts? Where's my medals? And Cheryl's like, shit, I feel terrible. I keep passing it along, but I can't fix it. And I feel like that's...
Go up to Amber's gym. She said she got like seven events.
She got all of them?
That's awesome. I mean, I have enough shirts. I could run events here for the next 2 years without needing another shipment. I actually told them, don't send me any more shirts until I tell you for it. Like, I have too many.
Where are they in number of weeks for affiliate events? Because I heard they'd gotten better with those.
Paying out?
Yes.
I'd say they're around 45 days. It's not like...
Okay. I have no issue with that whatsoever.
Like, that's fine. If you say 45 and it is 45, great. If it's
I would say
as 45 and it's 3-4
I would say
months,
as a business owner, I would say as a business owner,
predictable.
When you have net 30 with anybody, you're probably going to get it between 30 and 45. Like, that's just kind of like, it's awesome when it's 30 or faster, but totally respectable. 45 days, totally respectable.
My issue with that, and I told Yancey, I'm like, initially when we weren't getting paid, I was like, Yancey, I know, like, I have a business that has bills. You took all the money from my athletes. I spent money to put on an event, and all the money is not with me, and it's not with the athletes. It's sitting in an account somewhere that we can't access. And now I have bills to pay, like rent and all the things I ordered, like porta potties, because people need to go to the bathroom, and those bills are due. I'm on the hook for them. So how come no one cares to pay it out? They have shifted to real-time payments for affiliates. I don't know, like my August events on that. If you booked an event earlier, you're still in the old system where they pay you out in 45 days. But now, if Cheryl buys a ticket to my August event, it's in my account the next day. So that's kind of resolved that problem. We do more customer service on that side, though, because the money's in our account now. So, like, instead of them going through customer service, which I don't want anyone to, I'm like, email me, text me. I will fix the problem. I'll make it right way faster than...
So the money's going to come to you right away. And we talked about this before. Let's get off that. I want to hear more about Boston.
Sure.
I know you have to go. I know you have to go in like 20 minutes.
Sure. So Chicago 3-day event. We know they matched all the cities and took all the venues of HYROX. So no surprise that they're expecting big numbers. We're going to do all the marketing to sell the tickets, and that's why we opened up all this. And I didn't go to Anaheim or whatever, but Chicago 3 days. Friday, I'm first in line because I'm racing the first time slot, which was 8:30. I guess it was 7:30 when I signed up. It was 8:30 when they sent out the schedule the few days before. I was happy for an extra hour of sleep. I wait in line at registration like every Spartan race does when you get there first. We'll open the gate for you to check in just close enough to the starting list that you don't really get to warm up, and then you go to the line. And for the first like 2 hours, they're sending off 3-4 people at a time, and because you need judges to cover the stations. So that's throughput and sustainability. And then after a few hours, maybe 10 o'clock, it's really dwindling. There's like a couple people passing by. Like I'm sitting at the underdog tent. I'm like, all right, no one's over there. No one's on the stations. Like the music's bumping, the MC's trying to keep the energy up. And I'm like, there's no one here. So in Chicago, I went under my table and I took a nap with some a sleep mask and headphones. So I plan to do that again this time because I'm like, if they are giving away free tickets to this race, there's no way this place is going to be packed out. There's going to be the early Friday racers, and then it's age group for like from 8 to like 2. I don't know how many tickets you can fit in there, but everyone's going to sign up for first wave because they want to get in and get out, and then there'll be a few dwindlers. So it's the same thing in Boston. Huge lull from like, I don't know, 10 to 12, maybe more. And then 1 o'clock, people start showing up for their doubles, which starts at 2, and then doubles is going off. And then they put the awards like 45 minutes into the next like category. So I raced at 7:30 or whatever. And then I want to run doubles at 2, but awards are at like 2:40, 2:45. And all these people are in line. I'm like, all right, if I can go now, I'll be done. And I can go to the awards ceremony. If I don't, I got to wait another however long until awards is done to then go back to warm up and then start racing. It's a first world problem. I know it's such a thing, but I crossed the finish line, and in Chicago, I left the finish line with Zach Seigan as they called my name. And then I went up on stage, like no water. And it wasn't far from that as well. I raced with AJ on Friday. I finished, I came around, they were already starting awards, went up and got that. More people, a lot of good numbers for the 2-person teams, but it was very condensed. There was like 2 hours of 2-person teams and like 8 hours of open. So they had like maybe 2 hours of people for open. And then for 2-person teams, the line was longer than I've ever seen. They're sending like 3 at a time every 2 minutes. And
you gotta explain this line business. Let's say I'm a HYROX graduate, and I've gone to HYROX, and I'm told to go in at 10:40. I show someone my arm that says I can go in at 10:40, and they go, great, go race. And there's a countdown and there's a speech, and then I go. So you can talk about getting in line as if I'm buying refreshments.
Thanks for redirecting me. And this is a very good point you made. So in HYROX, as you know, what Matt said, in DEKA, you register for a half-hour time block. And in that time block, you go get in line. And that line kind of goes up to the starting line in 3, 4, 5, whatever they have the volunteer support for that day. And then they send off 3 people at a time every however many minutes, 2, 3 minutes, whatever they figure out.
3 people at a time.
That's what it was in Boston because there was no volunteers. Like, I think we started with 8 in the morning. So all the judges were staff members because there was no volunteers in Boston on Friday. There was more on Saturday and Sunday, but guess what? When you give out free tickets and people want to race a lot, they want to race. They don't want to go volunteer.
So 3 people at each station. So there's 3 in the...
No, I'm saying, oh, you mean like racers?
Volunteers.
Oh, I don't know how many people at each station. Sometimes there's not.
Yeah, I don't even think there were necessarily volunteers waiting for the 3 people that got released. No. There are accounts of people just having to count their own reps and, hope for the best, or one guy with 2 clickers trying to catch people. Yeah. So
one Dave with 4 toes, two clickers, and an ear, and Raleigh jumping over. And those staff members like Dave and Raleigh were just like buzzing around all day, there's this station has 1 volunteer and there's 4 athletes there. All right, now I got to run over here. And that was Dave for 3 straight days and Raleigh. And like I said, there was other staff members there doing just that as well. But the amount of red shirts was far outweighed by black shirts volunteering.
Since Dave is not here, should we now put a percentage on how many more races Dave can put up with this? I mean, we already know that like whatever they're paying him isn't enough, right? Like he's amazing, and he's told us like this is what I've signed up for, and I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z. At what point? At what point? And I know you're listening to this, Dave. At what point does Dave go? You know what, guys, I just can't. Like I love you, and
Here's what I'm picturing.
See, it wouldn't want to be it. Like I just can't do it.
Look, they're driving back to their little love shack in Canada, right? He and Rye, and the conversation in the car right now. If Rye has any brain in her head, she's saying, "We will not do this in 2027." Right? Like we'll get through Worlds, we will keep our commitments, and then goodbye to these folks because that was miserable. That is my prediction about the conversation in the car.
There's something to be said for very hard work and rewards that come with it. And
yes, you need to be able to say the hard work paid off.
But there's a line somewhere of that was not working hard. That was chaos.
Yes,
and
it wasn't helping.
And this thing without, I mean, guys, we hate to just keep ramping in the same thing, but I don't know. I can see it breaking down over the course of the day. Like we get people in the morning and then people want to, like, whatever it is, like one way or the other, but to not have people from the jump, like you can't, like, that's just like literally, how can that happen? Well, here's how that happens. Sorry, I'll tell you how that happens.
I have a question for you too, Matt. Finish your thought. Here's
how that happens. You have 3 full-time employees and none of their job is volunteers. I'm being serious. Like you have 3 people, you have, we're not even going to count Yancey. No, we'll count Yancey. Sure. You have Yancey, you have Robin, you have, who else is left? Nelson.
Yeah.
Right. So you have 3 full-time employees, and one of they do a lot. They do a shitload. It should be 6 or 7 or 8. It's 3, and volunteer coordination is none of those people. So it's literally just the form on the website, and let's see who shows up. That has to be, because again, anybody putting an hour a week into this would get some people.
Yes.
An hour a week from noon to 1 on Mondays. I'm going to call a couple of gym. You know what I mean? Like something. Come on.
What's your question?
Matt, why do people volunteer at HYROX, Matt or Cheryl?
Well, they volunteer at HYROX because
for race codes.
Once upon a time, it meant you got you got a race code that paid off. Now you just get a race code and maybe it pays off.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't.
True, but still, people are jumping over. They're fighting for volunteer. You can't get volunteer shifts sometimes because they get swallowed up right away because the race costs $300 and you can't get in.
What do you get?
You get an early reg.
You don't even.
What do you get for DEKA?
Off?
I don't know what you get because you get. I have an unbreakable pass, so I haven't gone through that flow with them. But when you email customer service and you're like, "Oh, I didn't get my race code for the DEKA I volunteered at," they're like, "Oh, you have to do a full day shift, which is 8 hours." Oh, I did. You can only do that at a Spartan race. It doesn't have it.
They don't even know that you can't do it.
Those were the complaints that I was hearing, like not even paying attention. But if you're going to volunteer for a race code, but then you're going to a race that gives away free races to everybody because, oh, it's Boston, we didn't sell any tickets. Why would you volunteer then? What does Jess's mom say? They're not going to pay for the milk if you get the milk for free or something like that.
Yeah. Don't buy the cow if you can get the milk for free, right?
Yeah, Cheryl, thanks for covering me on that one. I'm like, whatever it was, I thought that was a good fitting one. But yeah, like all these, there's no incentive to volunteer. It's chaos, like you said, like the Daves and the Raleighs, and they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off. Well, yeah, they're paid staff. That's their job to make it run. If you're a volunteer and like, hey, I'm happy to help, I'll count some reps. You don't really know what's going on. And then you get thrown into this chaos where you don't even, all my races, I had a judge counting incorrectly. And even in the elite race with a staff member counting reps, like AJ is doing box overs. He's like, no, you didn't touch the box. We're pretty dialed in on touching the box. So he leaves the station, like, come back. You didn't do you didn't touch the box. So he does 2 more reps and then he leaves. And he's like, fortunately, like we've all had race.
How do you not touch the box?
It's when you're flying.
When you
You guys fly.
you tap. Yeah. When you're fast, people can't count.
Did you see
really
my
hard.
box step overs, by the way?
I did. And you were not flying, but you did pretty good.
Well,
Good job, Matt.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I want to shout out Joy, who I mentioned was at the race. I said, would you film, a few seconds at everything and I'll make a little reel afterwards. And I thought she may have caught, usually you want to catch like, oh, these are the good wall ball, the 6 good wall ball reps I had. Right. And I'm like falling over the box. And I actually laugh if you pay attention, I go, bah! Because like I literally can't keep my balance because I'm not that good at it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to use that fucking clip because like that.
We've all fallen off the box. If you haven't fallen off the box, you're not even good.
Well,
enough.
I just, it's so that's why HYROX wrote, athleticism on point.
Exactly.
Balance is key, right? Because like balance is not key. Anyway,
yeah.
Dave,
volunteers don't have a capacity to do what Dave does. So when you get thrown into the fire and you're like, I don't friggin' know. I'm not doing this right. This person's yelling at me. I'm counting, but they don't think it's a count. And there's 10 people in here and I'm overwhelmed and flustered. Like that's a shitty experience. You wouldn't put up with that at work.
Right.
The diehards just deal with it because that's how it is.
Well,
but
I think the day the email that came out that said Boston's free. I don't know who the first one who sent it to me. I don't know if it was Kevin or somebody else, but now I have to make sure
me. I was like, yes.
Now I've
seen it.
Now I have to make sure it's not AI. Like seriously, like when LeBron chose the Sixers, I checked 4 different places. Right? Because everybody does that. They just stick my head. Matt's going to the Lakers. And so I was like, is this actually happening? Literally. So same thing with this. I'm like, okay, maybe, and people send me everything, right? People send
it
me
was
things.
Unbelievable enough that you had to check.
Okay, did this actually happen?
Right.
And again, those of us that have been around, nothing new for Spartan to do, random shit.
Right.
So I thought, is there anything more perfect, right? That on the same day that Nashville goes in minutes, right? Now, Nashville already sold, I'm going to make up a number, 12 to 15,000. Somebody said 18. I don't know. Let's say it's
in early access.
on the pre-sale.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Already, here's the second pack, 12 to 15,000 go like that. And then DEKA's like, we're canceling New York.
Yeah.
We're canceling New York and please come do our free race. And it's like, can if an alien came down, they would go, I wonder which race is doing better. I wonder which race has a clue about what they're doing. Like how is this possible would really be what the alien would say. How is this even possible?
Here's the sad part is I love my Facebook HYROX group and the constant chatter after these sales, right? When they go out in minutes and people are frustrated is I'm sick of this, which of course they're not, they're going to try again. When Anaheim comes out, they're going to get in line again. But I'm sick of this. Are there any other races out there that I could do? Right. And in North America, that's not easy to find. But the answer every time is DEKA. Everybody's saying, I'm going to go do a DEKA Ultra. I'm doing DEKA these days. I'm doing DEKA. And they're shooting themselves in the foot by then not giving people a good experience because they could capitalize on this, right? They could have it be a great experience where people have a really good time and they aren't counting their own reps and they aren't. Listen, you released me with 2 other people out of the start gate. That's the most awkward. That's the most awkward thing ever. Like, I'm looking to my right, my left, and I'm like, really? It's just the experience is so subpar, and it's so sad.
They should do that thing they do in college where they're like, look to your left, look to your right. One of these people won't be here when you're finished. By the way, whoever fucking said that, by the way, that's the worst speech in the world, right?
That's horrible. No.
That's like a boomer mentality, like to just scare kids.
Yeah.
So by the way, Manchester, which was triple Boston, right, in number of finishers.
Better medals.
Do they have better medals?
Yeah, they had nice medals.
But the U.S. beat Manchester in the head-to-head, not competitive, but friendly showcase.
This is one of the questions I want to ask you about.
It's important.
Is these fucking bikes? I want to ask you about those.
Ooh.
But they had 6 people they were releasing at a time. Okay, 6.
Right.
At one point, they bumped it to 8, and it got overwhelming, so they went back down to 6.
Matt,
Matt, we have underdogs on the ground there, and there was also a lot of reports of not enough volunteers. This might not be an American issue. It might be a Spartan doesn't want to get volunteers.
Wait a minute. Underdogs left.
We're worldwide.
You should have just gone head to head with each other.
We did in some cases. Lucy versus Kelly for Ruck. I'm like, Lucy's like fucking awesome. Throw me in the Ruck against Kelly Sullivan. Great. You couldn't have me do like.
But I'm saying like that was a bigger event, and the most they could release was 6. And I thought that was a few because I thought they were doing like, in my mind, it's like, oh well, it's like 12, like the elite waves, right? Like they can do 12 at a time. Like I didn't realize
they
it was
have
3.
15, 16. They have 15, 16 pieces of equipment per station.
Yeah.
So they should be releasing
manpower.
No, I get it. I'm saying that I thought 6 was bad. Little did I know 3. America was like, hold my beer. We have 3.
So awkward. And just so embarrassing. Look, I always have fun at DEKA events. Even the DEKA fits when they're even sort of poorly attended. It's still great to see everybody. There's a lot of energy. It never comes across on the social media. It looks like an awkward party that nobody came to. And so that's not helping them at all.
Right. Especially when they had those elites going in the morning and it was like, you just hear their feet on the ground like a basketball court. Like, squeak, squeak, squeak. That's the only sound you can hear. And some roller skates going behind them. Right. Can we quickly talk?
There's not much of a wait time, even with the 3 people and in the doubles when the line was long. That was the only time there was a wait. But I think if they sent 10, 12 at a time, the starting line would be completely vacant for 90% of the time the event was happening.
So they could release like every 15 minutes and it would be fine, right?
Yeah, or half hours or whatever, because you just that makes it more like there's people on the course at certain densities. But Manchester did Friday night lights and then Saturday and Sunday. Boston did 7:30 a.m. on Friday all the way until 5 p.m. and then all the way on Saturday and all the day on Sunday. And you can condense that into one day and got the same amount of runners through if you had
enough volunteers.
Yeah, well, and saved a lot of money by not paying for 3 days of a venue that was like Phoenix. It was massive, but there was so much dead space. So like it kind of feels empty.
You don't need it. Yeah.
Well, I posted today how Spain does their complete weekends, right?
Yeah.
2 days.
You and I talked about this the other day.
They only do 2-day events, and their numbers crush, right?
And like almost 4,000 you posted.
Yeah. So I think we've talked about the concept of, so here's your Boston Ultra Sunday. You ready? Elite Heat, 6 people, age group 7 people. Okay. The Ultra in Aurora was 15 and 11. The Rucks are similar, 15 and 9, 9 and 5. Like this is men and women. So it's like maybe focusing on fit strong miles. One of the things that's really working. They also don't do 4-person teams. They don't do although I think Europe posted today that the UK is going to do that, but Spain doesn't fuck with that. Spain's like fit strong mile. Here's when we do it. And they're crushing it. So
get good at
why don't America and UK maybe listen to those guys? Maybe
because they're their own entity.
Well, okay,
but I'm saying like there's an opportunity there to like like Spain Spain does its own thing because it is its own things. Why not learn from them and go, oh, maybe we could try this thing.
Okay, so following Kevin on your dysfunctional relationship theme, who's not seeing the problem? Like, why can everybody else outside see that there is an issue and that there are some relatively simple fixes and what's going on that they're just putting their heads down and forging ahead with something that isn't working?
Last year, I think they realized you can't put the Philly race in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 5 hours from any major city and expect big attendance. So they're like, we're going to do things much bigger this year. Great. We have major cities. We have venues. Awesome. That's exciting. But then they didn't follow that up with any activity to fill those tickets or sell those seats. So I don't know whose fault it is. Like there's something with gyms, like you can't get a gym to bring a bunch of people to your event. Like that's, if you think in sales, like you can sell individual products to individual people, or you can sell companies on getting their whole like corporate wellness in or something like that. And I feel like I don't know exactly what happens behind the scenes. I've never been into the Boston corporate office and know the names of the people or the faces or what else they do, because they're doing a bunch of other stuff that doesn't sell DEKA tickets. And
I can give you part of the answer.
that's in the no. Hit it, Matt.
Tell us,
You're
Matt.
frozen. Cliffhanger.
Is he frozen or is he thinking?
Matt, bark twice if you're in Milwaukee.
Did I go away for a minute?
You did.
Yeah, just when you said I have a thought, and then you froze.
It's just nothing.
So the reason is what I said at the start of the call, because they're also selling Tough Mudder and Spartan tickets. That's why, because everything is everything, and everything every day is a new fire to put out. And the move would have been to say, Angel, you're crushing it, right? Because he was already doing way better. He was doing 1,000 when America was doing 300. Now America's doing 1,000 per event, and he's doing 3,000 per event.
Mm-hmm.
The move would have been to be like, hey, let's have you work like the UK Europe team. Listen to him, right? Whatever he's doing, how he's getting venues, how he's marketing the events. But it's almost the opposite. It's almost like whatever he's doing, let's do the opposite, right? So that's what's happening. They're leaving him on an island to do his own thing, which makes him happy, but they should make him involved more. And listen, I'm sure there's some. I get that there's that he's the franchise owner, so there's some corporate whatever that. Again, I know it's not just that simple, but it could be. He could be leading the charge because he clearly knows what he's doing. But he's moving on to do more in Portugal. But I think that's all he can do. Like he should be given all of Europe, but he doesn't own all of Europe. Spartan UK/Europe owns all of Europe. So that would be the move, I would do more of what that guy was doing. And I think it's silly to not do Strongs and Miles at your events and make it a trifecta weekend. People love to chase the trifecta, and it doesn't punish gyms because gyms will just send their members to it and put on their own events on other weekends. It's so silly.
I'm already not having DEKA Strongs and Miles on weekends that there's fits.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Yeah.
So maybe next year they'll change that. Maybe.
Well, so Worlds is going to have a full day of Strong, which is
other than Worlds.
And the night after Saturday night starts the hoedown, and then Sunday is a full day of Strong.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be really fun for people. So maybe they are sort of catching on that might be a way to go forward. Hopefully.
Well, I think what'll happen is they did it because they want to sell more tickets to that event, right? And then they're going to realize like a happy accident will be,
we can sell tickets. Look, I think there's no doubting how much how beloved the DEKA team is here in North America. Like I just feel like those people are they're cheerful and they're optimistic, and it's always fun to see them, and they're always so kind to me when I'm there, and I just see them just putting on the best face for things. The thing I worry about is, if Spartan is the abuser, right? Like if Spartan's the one not paying out, not doing all the things, the resentment tends to actually go in relationships to the people who are protecting the abuser, right? Like they're just putting a sunny face on everything and acting like it's all fine. And I worry that people are going to start turning on the DEKA team if things don't get fixed. I think we want this race to succeed. It fills such a niche. One of my good friends here had his son run in Boston. He took first place podium. They were over the moon excited. Like it was the biggest deal to them ever, right? To have that happen.
Little redheaded kid?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's a little redheaded kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
No, they're great family.
Yeah, they were awesome.
They're really, and they're so in the tank for DEKA, and they want to do this. And then he's like, he went to DEKA Worlds last year and is asking me all these questions about what's going on with this and why aren't they doing this? And I just didn't know what to tell him because I know they just want it to work. And we need somebody to help us have this work.
You know how there's been many articles that say women are not tiny men, and it talks about like women's fitness. I think I could title this episode "DEKA is not tiny Spartan."
Yes, it's a whole different thing.
I'm not going to do that, but
or tiny HYROX even.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin, are you good, or do you got to run?
I'll give you 2 more minutes if you have a final thought, so I don't get a text in an hour. Be like, oh, we forgot to talk about this.
Well, we forgot because last time we forgot to talk about judging with you.
Yeah.
And then I had to do a whole other call with Andrea that I was going to do anyway. But
okay.
Did I say Andrea? Yeah, Andrea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so as far as I know, they are going to, not officially yet, but optimistic that the money's going to move. But they're looking at logistically which makes more sense. If they put it in Philly, is that going to draw a big enough crowd because it's too soon? Or Raleigh gives you more time, or Fort Lauderdale as the last American qualifying event. So those are things that they're looking at as far as where that money could go.
Where would you prefer? Where would you prefer?
I mean, personally, I'm not going to be competing for that money, but I think it was going to be in the Northeast. So the Northeast people would have the best crack at a local race to get it. So that would say Philly, but that's short notice. Florida is easy to get to, though. I mean, at least it's going to be on the East Coast. So I don't think any of the spots are bad. I think the worst, the right answer is any of the three. The wrong answer is not putting it on one of those races.
Yeah.
So.
But don't you remember when they would have that last DEKA Fit before qualification?
Yeah, that used to be like almost as competitive as the Worlds.
Yeah, that was always a really fun race to see.
West Palm Beach, the one I didn't go to, I'm like, where did all these people get into how did everyone run such an amazing time? Oh, because everyone showed up there and was competitive.
No, it was really fun.
People were there and ran a time trial.
Yeah, so I'd love to see like Fort Lauderdale just kind of have everybody show up. That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kevin. See you later, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Good to see you.
It's just my daughter called and I happened to open my phone and there's a gym that I've not been to, but that's in the burbs here. And I just saw a big ad that jumped out. Full HYROX sim. But I just signed up for a 5K. Should I lose that 5K money and jump into a HYROX sim?
How expensive is a 5K?
I don't know. $70. I signed up last minute.
All right.
Maybe 60.
When's the sim?
The sim is Saturday. But it's kind of like we did with Dallas. It was like we just signed up for it because we saw it. I'm like, "Ooh, a sim! I should sign up." And it's like, wait a minute, just slow down.
You can sleep on it. You can sleep on it.
I can sleep on it. Well, here's the other thing. One day, Nelson and Robin won't be there. That's the thing,
yes.
right. Yancey probably will never not be there.
Right.
But they had Mark Jones. He's gone. And that was the thing with Spartan was that. Or any company really is that, when you start to lose the pieces and then if you're spending less money and you've lost the people, then people are like, well, this isn't the thing that I used to love. Right. Like HYROX has gone through a lot of people that weren't there at the beginning, but they've got an amazing product behind them. So it's not hurting them, but it's
not
Spartan,
as much about the people. And I feel like DEKA is small enough that
absolutely. It's very much relies on that. So yeah. So if all you've got is those people holding it up with paper clips and sticks, Dave and Raleigh. By the way, is it Raleigh? He calls her
Riley. It's Rye.
It's Rye, but she does spell it. I think Raleigh.
We're going to need to clarify this.
Sorry, Dave and Rye.
I know. We'll just call her Rye.
You look up her Instagram. But I feel like when he kept saying it, and I'm like, how does he not know when he's with them every week?
I know. You start thinking, does he know? He knows more than we do.
We call her Rye, right?
Yeah.
And I know her as Rye.
Yes.
And
maybe it's just a Northeastern thing. I don't know. But
anyway.
I still remember when Dave Claxton showed up at World Championships in Ocala, Florida, with that shirt on, F around and find out, right? Like he was ready to put the hammer down and the judging just got good and it was dynamic and it was fun and he terrified all of us. And it's those people, right? It's Robin and it's Yancey. It's all those guys just walking around, making it really great to be there. And if Dave leaves, it's not going to be the same. Who's even going to be judging? I mean, are they just going to rely on athlete judges through the whole time? And that went poorly at times when certain judges were judging their friends and letting them get away with stuff, right? So I don't know. I just worry the whole thing's going to fall apart, and I don't want it to fall apart.
It's Raielie.
So it could be Raleigh.
I think it is Raleigh. I think he's right because he spends time with him. Sorry, Rye. we're going to call you Rye, and we're going to apologize to both you and Dave for getting it wrong.
For being really bad at this.
Because he kept saying, and I kept thinking the city Raleigh, and I'm like, I don't think she spells it like the city Raleigh. And you know what I mean? Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
To what I like to call, back to my favorite part of the program, a segment we like to call, is this peak HYROX? We just keep coming back to the rising. What's the opposite of supply? Demand of HYROX. And every time we think it can't get busier, it does. And I think what's interesting is there does not seem to be rhyme or reason. I never had this happen before. I've heard people that like I've been shut out and people like, I got into 2 races. And I'm like, how did you do that? So I was on my phone and my laptop, and my phone went 3, 2, 1, the countdown, straight to the page. I hit doubles as quick as I could. I typed. Matt had a volunteer code. I thought, great, that'll save this some of the cost. I typed it in. It didn't work. I wasn't going to make the mistake I made with you where I tried to go back. I said, fuck it. I'm paying full price. I paid for it.
Volunteer cords, yeah.
My other phones still were counting down. We left Clayton's on. They were still counting down. And so I don't know why I, in particular, like you're supposed to be added to the queue in a random part, right? Like, doesn't matter whether you're on for an hour before or 5 seconds before. Some guy said, just jump in right before. That guarantees it. It's like, no, it doesn't. I've done both. I've been in there for an hour and I've been in there 5 seconds or even after it started. Like, doesn't matter. So it's completely random. And it was a big talking point at my DEKA. It was like, why couldn't I get in? Now, people, I guess just have faith because it's been my experience that if I want to get to it, I can. And not because I'm special, but just because I used to just jump in and keep checking it, right?
Right.
Now I actually pay for notifications for it. So guys, if you're listening, it's not like hope is not lost. Now it's a little tricky because you are planning travel and everything around it. But, and so I guess for me in that sense, it is a little easier if I'm, for example, already going to go to a major. But yeah, it's very possible. You're not out of luck. And I highly recommend this thing I keep talking about, RoxRadar. There's another one called something tickets. Maybe that one works too. I don't know.
RoX tickets. I think it's RoX tickets.
No. No, RoX tickets is, I think RoX tickets created radar alerts. I think is what they did because they wanted to take the RoX out of it. I used, what's the one I used? I just said the name and I forgot.
RoxRadar.
RoxRadar.
Yeah. And
everybody uses, this is why you shouldn't use AI fucking people. Everybody's shit looks the fucking same. Stop using AI art garbage. I defend AI. I love AI. It's made me a better, it helps me write better. It's helped me write better. It's helped me get more sales, like all these things. But don't do the fucking graphics, guys. I literally can't tell the difference in your garbage sites because you use the garbage fucking art. Stop doing it.
Right. Just black and yellow.
Black and yellow and the same graphic.
Yeah.
The same messy graphics. I had a guy write me the other day who people want me to share their gym event. And he's like, hey, share our gym event. And I go, I don't help people that fucking use AI art. I just said it. Well, most of that art's mine, but I was like, all right, whatever, dude. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, don't lose hope. It used to be you had to hope you could know someone. And then there are people that happens too, where you see people posting, I've got a thing for sale. So don't give up. And RoxRadar, like I said, I think it's $15 for the low end. And that's what I paid for. And the minute it told me, I went and I got my ticket. And there it was. So it's not, hope is not lost, but it was definitely, people are very mad. People take it very personally, and they were very mad at the gym that I went.
Yes. I think that the anger goes away quickly and then they try again when the next event comes out. But I just am not that person to get a bunch of devices open and start working the system. Like it's not worth the stress to me to do that. And I think there are a fair amount of us that thankfully we raced enough that we'll sort of watch this come and go. Like what? London didn't sell out right away, right? Like they finally have enough of the product over in the UK where there's a little bit of wiggle room where you can get tickets if you need them or if you want them. And I am absolutely waiting for that to happen. I'm hoping that's like next year or the year after, and really going to gonna narrow my focus to maybe 1 or 2 races this year and just kind of calm down and let everybody else.
This means Dave lost his bet to me because remember Dave said by the end of this year it was going to slow down.
Well, it's clearly not slowing down this year. Good heavens!
I know, but that was his quote from 2 years ago. So I think London by now is sold out, right? It's been a few days.
Yeah, but
and again,
a couple weeks. Yeah,
which again is still amazing, right? Any event in the world would dream of that, right?
Yeah, tens of thousands of people.
Tens of thousands of people. Single open men. You can still get a Wednesday men's ticket.
Yeah, see? I mean, wow. Right. So I think things seem to be either they've got enough product over there now or things are sort of calming down. I do think
it's a charity open men, so that's a little bit more expensive.
Okay.
Charity open women. But again, in America, those are just gone. Multiple days for charity open women. Let's go to pro men. Not sold out. Holy shit.
See?
Pro women, not sold out. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Now, again, they're still going to have however many people did we say? Like 20,000 probably?
Yeah, tens of thousands of people.
It's not small.
Right. They're not losing money.
So we need a couple years before that happens over here.
Right. And look, the people that I talk to who are signing up for these races right now, they'll try them once or twice and then they'll move on. I'm not so sure that everybody's kind of all in on it. And so I think it's going to take, when did London start getting like this? Was it 2 years ago that it was getting like ridiculous and you couldn't find a ticket? And then there were, they tried that lottery system and they tried all these things, but it's only been a couple years and now it's finally calming down.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. I mean,
we're peak North American HYROX.
We're peak North, right? But again, I said that 6 months ago when we announced all those U.S. cities. When we announced the last batch of cities, we said we were peak HYROX. Now this new batch of cities got announced, and people lost their minds even more. So, it's funny. I had a call with someone today for an article to be published that was asking me questions like, why do you think that is, right? And we talk about it every week on the show, pretty much. Why fitness is so hip, why being on Instagram is so hip, attractive young people, young people drinking less, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
She did say something about the cruise, and I said, just skip that.
You don't understand. That's not us.
I was like, they're giving away tickets to that thing. Like, that's not a thing.
DEKA Fit Boston. Yeah.
But just somebody just like, from outside, just like looking in going, what is that thing? And then, she was asking like all these questions about why. And it's why we're like I always was saying, the difference between OCR was that if you trained in the gym, then you go run 6 miles in the woods, you don't really go back to the gym and go, well, now let's go beat our time. It just didn't quite make sense. It was like, well, now you have a thing that you can go back and train for and now beat your time. Like that part seemed, but the part she said that made even more sense is that I don't think I've actually said enough is it just like going to the gym kind of sucks for people, right? Like I have to do this thing, right?
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, now there's a reason to do this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I hadn't thought of that because like, I don't kind of think of it that way. And I think a lot of us don't. Like fitness is part of our life because we like it, but people talk about, a lot of people go to the gym like it's eating vegetables, right?
Yes.
Like I have to do this to not become this fat person. And now it's like, oh, well, here's a good reason to go train, right? Here's a good reason to go to the gym in the first place.
Well, and I know a lot of people who want to go to the gym, but they don't know the structure on what to do. Like I've had a lot of friends who just sort of show up and they kind of, I don't know, they amble on the treadmill, they do a few bicep curls. Like they don't really know. This gives you absolute structure. Like even if you just simmed all the time, you're at least doing something that's getting you down the road to some sort of goal. So I can see where that would help a lot.
Yeah. And I do think the part that is a fad, right? The part that is, or the part that's temporary, I'd say the part that's more temporal, I knew I'd get there, is I'm a HYROX girly or HYROX is my personality, right? That's the thing that comes and goes.
That will come and go.
Right. But the base under that of just all the other stuff is what's going to keep this thing going for at least a decade.
Yeah.
If you ask me, wanted me to make a prediction, right, is that there's so much more under it. Like the tip top part of this is my whole thing and all the things that people make fun of HYROXers for, like that's the part you'll see less and less of. But the rest of it is so strong that we're fine.
I was listening to a podcast about like the life cycle of a religion, you know, and it starts so kind of culty, right? Like it's really, really tight knit and it's very, very different from everybody else. But as time goes on, people relax and, you know, they start kind of doing their own thing. Like, you know, it gets a lot looser. Like you've got different versions of Catholics, you have different versions of, you know, Jewish, like everybody kind of finds their niche. And that's going to happen with HYROX too. And I think, yeah, like you'll jump in a HYROX, but it won't be your entire race calendar. It won't be every event you'll try to get to. And that'll be a happy place, I think, for everyone.
Yeah. And I've said it before, if OCR can hang on for dear life for this long, certainly just a much, right? Because she was asking questions too, like, well, isn't it just easier to set up? Because you don't have to go out in these fields and dig these big things. I'm like, that's a great point. I wasn't even thinking about that. I like the city part. We talked about the city part, city versus country, but
just hauling a monkey bars out into the middle of a, you know, mountain somewhere. That's rough.
Right.
Big Bear's got Twister up at the top of it. That's not an easy thing.
Do you want to talk about the potential cities for the majors? Sorry, Elite Race Series.
The Elite Race Series.
Would you like to talk about the cities?
So my question is, did they release it or did you leak it? I can't remember. I know that you made a post about it, but I was vacationing, so I didn't see if they released it.
They have not. I am confident enough that I shared it with, like, I wouldn't share it if I wasn't pretty sure. And as I always say, it's not official until they say it's. But we knew we were going to get the cruise. We knew we were getting London. Number 3, Bangkok. Number 4. Are you
going to Bangkok? Are you going to go?
Hang on. Number 4, Vegas. Number 5, Lyon, France.
Okay.
I am going to be at the World Champs, which is in
Hong Kong.
I don't know if I can do Thailand and Hong Kong.
I can see that.
In a season. February and June. It's a little close.
Right.
I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes.
Okay. I am surprised that they're doing Vegas again. Doesn't that seem weird?
Why?
Because they've already done a Vegas major.
Right. But like DC was the North American champs for like 3 years.
Yeah, but that's the North American Championships. It's not a major.
No, I think it makes perfect sense. I think Chicago, Vegas, and DC would always be the choices. Probably. I mean, Phoenix was the major. Phoenix was the major last year.
Right.
Yeah, I guess Dallas, because they're so entrenched in there, but I think it's where it falls too, right? And Dallas falls in the fall, usually.
Okay. So, all right. The fact that it's in March, they like that it's in March. And so that's why they just chose that.
So I think that's what we're always going to get, unless they do the thing where like Chicago, we lost a fall Chicago and we gained a spring one. So I guess that way, but no, I thought they'd do Phoenix again because the stadium was such a hit, right? I thought that was the move.
And I thought if they were doing it in Vegas, that they would put it in the stadium.
And right now, that's not what. Right, and that's not what my sources say. Right now, my source says it's back at the convention center, not at the
Allegiant Stadium,
and not at where it was last time.
Mandalay Bay, yes, which was a much better venue. I'm really kind of surprised. I don't know. Not thrilled that they're going back to the convention center. We could use the loop, though. Those Teslas that go underground. I mean, if you want a car that spontaneously combusts, put it underground. I think it's the best move ever.
Okay, that's in Vegas?
Yeah, no, the Boring Company, Elon Musk's Boring Company has like these little tunnels all underneath Las Vegas that they run Teslas through, and you can get on one.
So it's like Waymos, you mean?
No, there's like a guy he drives up, picks you up, takes you to the next property.
So this is because there's such stop and go traffic on the strip.
I guess.
Well, how long has it been there?
A few years. It was here when you were here last time.
Okay. Why am I never heard it?
Because it's been sort of small, but it's getting bigger. You'll definitely have to try it if you come. Well, you're coming because it's a major. Well,
I will say, pro tip for you, when we were in Vegas, I wanted to get picked up, and it kept doing that thing where it said, you can't get picked up here, walk here. But because it's all so crowded, it was like across the street. Kevin and I could not figure out. After Kevin and I went to the shakeout run, we literally couldn't figure out. We were like, is it this parking? Oh, no, it's across the street. No, it's over here.
Yeah.
Whereas Lyft, you can literally drop the dot wherever you want it to.
Oh, yeah.
So same thing at like certain airports, right? Uber will be like, no, you have to drop here. Lyft, you can drop wherever you want. Now, it doesn't mean they might tell you can't get picked up there at the Lyft thing. But anyway, so I used Lyft in Vegas instead of Uber. But you can also walk most places. But
yes. Oh, he's frozen a bit. Say it again. Hello, there you are.
The bigger question is no Australia. That's the bigger thing where there's never not been a meet.
Right. So Bangkok is taking the place of that. How many hours is it to Bangkok from Melbourne? Probably a lot.
Saying it right.
But I also think everything there takes forever, and they're much better at traveling than us. And if they're having it in not a stadium, are they going to have, like in London, the grid is going to be in a separate venue from what I understand. So is that going to be the move? Like, are they just going to have a separate spot where the grid is set up for these elite races and it will be
9 hours?
Yeah. See? Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. So far for everyone.
So they're not upset yet because apparently a lot of them didn't see my post yet. But if and when HYROX announces this, I think they're going to lose their mind.
Yeah, kind of insulting.
I mean, I think they're going to say, listen, we got to move this thing around, and this is the deal. Maybe 1 year we'll get screwed. I don't think so, but maybe 1 year America won't get a meet.
Well, I think we can agree Hong Kong, there must have been some sort of incentive for them to go there, but I can't imagine Thailand.
According to Christian, it was never Germany, and it was always Hong Kong, or what did I say the other one was? It was always something. We said it once on here already.
I don't remember.
But according to Christian, yeah, it was never Europe this time around, and it probably will be Germany for the 10th, which is
I hope so. That's what we all wanted. Yeah,
I think so too.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see how HYROX does in China now that this Chinese guy started his own race. I think they can really get a foothold in. So
I'm trying to set up a call with that guy. They are 12 hours ahead, which is tough. Which is tough for me. So it's 6:30 a.m. right now there.
Right.
So I'm trying to get him on the phone. We've been talking. What's the name of the race? Do we even know the name of the race?
I can't remember right now. I sent you a message about it, so it's in there somewhere. But
so over there, they use an app called WeChat, which is not just like a WhatsApp. WeChat is everything. So I was asking for like pictures and statistics, finisher numbers, and it's all on WeChat.
Oh,
because and I remember when I was over there, that's their thing. It's their social media and their communication, and it's basically like it'd be like if the government owned Meta and Meta owned everything, right?
Well, I was going to say that is the government involved because it probably is. So
exactly.
Yeah. One-stop shop for them to see what you're doing.
So, there was, I'll tell you how many finishers he just sent me. How many did you read they had? Because this looks like 2,000.
No, I didn't see any numbers. BTWE, what does that stand for?
Big time weekend, everybody.
BTWE offers competitors 4 modules, each pairing an 800-meter run with a cardio exercise and a strength-based movement, which includes rows, sled pushes, sled pulls, burpees, and more. So, nothing new there.
Hang on one second.
But I do think if it's homegrown, I think that it's going to get some legs over there.
Much like our Trika did, you mean?
Correct. Better we, that's what it stands for. Better we.
Like we're better together?
Yeah. That should be our motto, Matt. That should be our team name. Drawing nearly 5,000 competitors in Hunan.
Well, that would be right if hang on. Yeah, if this is correct, then it's right. I'm messaging the guy now, and he's probably just waking up.
Good morning.
So if this is correct, because again, you know me, I don't believe anything.
Mm-hmm. If they say it's 5,000, it may not be 5,000.
Yeah. So, but I'm looking at some numbers, and so it may be 5,000.
Okay.
Which is even 2,000 would be great for a first time event, right? But
sure.
But again, you can't even pull up anything because things aren't on websites. That's the thing. Everything is
through that app.
Is on this app. So here's the race. It is better we. This is, I think, pictures. Yeah, it looks just like all the stuff we all know. It looks just like, which is why. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at them.
He's
finishing.
He's got a lot of temporary tattoos.
Yeah.
Let's see if I find a better photo to show the people. Yay, we finished.
Oh, good. They have smoke.
So what the heck was I going to say? Oh, I wanted to find the actual race website. So everything's through this WeChat, which I had opened an account 10 years ago for the last time I was in China, and I couldn't get it open because you have to. It was a very complicated process, which I won't explain. You type it. You type in we. What is it called?
What, better we?
Yeah, type it on and see what you get.
Okay. All right. I'm seeing nothing about a fitness race.
Type in better we China.
Okay. I'm just getting news about it.
Yeah,
I'm not getting the website. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think to interview that guy will be interesting. It's clear they're paying out. You have to wonder what race is going to show up that HYROX athletes are going to start racing because they can get money. The only one that's currently happening is LT, where we've got some athletes showing up for that to pick up a check.
Wait a minute. Where's the prize money? I didn't see that part.
That was on it was on their Instagram. Let me see what it says. Divisions include men's and women's singles, doubles, and 4-person relay teams with a total prize pool of 350,000 renminbi, roughly $51,700.
How many dollars is that roughly?
$51,700.
Okay, I got to ask this guy about this.
Yes, you do.
If he wakes up soon, maybe we can just have him hop right on.
He'll love that.
Well, we were talking like this about this time when he was up, and then we were talking 12 hours later, and it just wasn't working. It's tough. So LT added some spots. Is that our last item up for bids?
They sold out Saturday, and Friday they were going to start at 4 p.m. and now they have spots that they've opened earlier than 4 o'clock. So if you want to get into LT, there are still open spots, but it's like Friday afternoon. And why do I think, oh my gosh, they're not successful? Because they haven't sold out right away, right? Like,
right.
You know,
but they only have 200 spots though. So
they only have 200 spots, but they also are not advertising like everyone else. Like they want it to be kind of this little boutique-y thing. I'm finally getting it on my LT app. So, you know, a little bit of advertising, but they've put virtually no effort into letting people know about this. It really has just been word of mouth through the community.
Yes. Somebody asked me if there's going to be a spring event. And I'm like, dude, they just announced the fall event.
Look,
sadly, if you go to their site, ltgames.lifetime.life, right?
Yes.
And you see all the content is from the testing event.
Yes.
There's a video at the top that's rolling through.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a bunch of photos that tell you what the workouts are. And that's like 2-year-old information. It's like, come on, guys, at least update this thing.
Yeah. I don't really know what their end game is. And listen, they're building a new Lifetime here in the Las Vegas area. And my suspicion is, or my hope is, that I know that they're building a number of them around the country. And wouldn't it be great if every space they're currently building has a space for this, so that they could have a weekend where we were all competing at the same time, right? Like how cool would that be if there were like 4 or 5 venues where everybody's just sort of showing up to the one that's kind of closest to them. And then we're putting numbers up on the leaderboard. I think that would be my vision of what would make sense for them. It doesn't seem to currently be happening. I know that the second event they were fine tuning. They were sort of figuring out, they're not starting people every 15 minutes. They're starting people every 20 minutes. You know, they're doing things like that to sort of make it flow better. I don't know what their end game is for this event, other than maybe they're trying it in a new space, not in Minneapolis, to see how that rolls. So then they've got a template for how to go forward and how to then grow it. But currently, they don't seem to be interested in letting a lot of people know that it's going on. And it is the coolest race.
Yeah, I just keep envisioning there's a couple of guys sitting around a coffee table of some kind with a lot of money, just like, and I'm going to get the call. Hey, I know you've been talking about this. We want to come on and talk to you about this thing we're doing. Fitness racing is a thing. I in America, we're waiting for you. Last question. You heard Dave and I talk about Apex last week. Did you have thoughts on that? That's the like standing broad jump and all that stuff. I already forgot.
Why
I
don't I
already forgot
remember
the
you
workouts.
talking about? Right. No, because Athex, or you're talking about Apex? What was it?
It's called Apex.
Here was my problem. So I had an issue last week. I was running on the beach listening to you guys. That was the whole thing I wanted to do last week was run on the beach. I told my husband, take the grandkids just for this amount of time so I can get a good run on the beach. It was so foggy. I couldn't see 50 feet in front of my face. I couldn't see anything out there. I might as well have been running on a treadmill. And you guys are talking about how, oh, just go to Chicago in February. It's going to be fine. We want the whole experience, guys. Like, we want to be able to enjoy the city that we're traveling to. I think that the people are worried that they're not going to be able to enjoy Chicago in February.
I don't know. I want to hear from people. Are you young or are you old? What your age group is, and if you care, because I feel like let's talk about the HYROX bros and the HYROX girlies are like, where can I do a HYROX? They don't give a fuck if they're freezing between the airport and their hotel. Like, they want to go race.
I think a lot of
older folks like us think about, I'm going to spend a day in the city with my spouse. I want to take somewhere. Maybe it's just older folks. I don't know.
It could be. So, okay, tell me about this Apex race again, because I remember you talking about the
dash.
40-yard dash,
a pull and a push of a certain amount of weight.
Okay,
a 1 mile endurance run. The power is the horizontal jump, vertical jump, and overhead.
Oh, you're cutting out. You need to say that again. The power is what? Go.
The power is a horizontal jump, a vertical jump, and an overhead toss. So you throw this giant ball over your head.
All right. So this is the one it's like a combine, right? Where you're just kind of set up to do this.
Standing broad jump, touch the vertical, and then you get a score. And then the other three are, it's basically like a little combine.
Yeah.
If you're not that familiar with it, we can wait. We can save it for another call. If you don't want to speak, if you can't speak intelligently about it, we'll wait.
Well, I don't know if I can speak. Anyway. I don't know if I can speak intelligently about much, but this doesn't sound like much fun to me. So I will say that. And maybe I'll look into it and I'll decide, oh no, it seems great. But right now it seems like it's just far too specific, and it's far too just like one thing after another instead of stringing things together and being able to have a strategy. I think that's more fun to me. And I can't jump.
Yeah.
I can't jump at all. Right.
And I think this is like, how do we get the people who hate running, who are just like, but who are beasts otherwise? Like those guys that look completely jacked at HYROX that are like walking by the third lap. Like, let's give something for those people, right?
Sure. No, I think
that's what it is. Which again, there's room for as well. I want more fitness races. I want more of the race part of fitness races and less of these. But I think there's probably a category that like of people who love that stuff.
Well, and it seems infinitely more accessible than some of the other stuff that's been coming out. The Athex workout that you talked about for 2027, I'm completely out. I don't think I could do that. Right. So I think it's nice to have something that I could do. I'd do terrible at it, but I could do it.
Did I talk about the TRT program that I want us to get on?
Should we get tested?
Well, I don't think they do test, so I think we're fine. You take a slightly lower dose than me.
Okay.
But we both take a good sized dose.
Okay. All right. At least
we get stronger? Is that how you get stronger?
Either that or I just get grumpier. I don't know what happens to me. The mood swings. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
All right. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.